The following is a special presentation of the Not Quite Right podcast, in which we discuss in detail entries to our erotic flash fiction competition, the Not Quite Right prize for flesh fiction. This episode contains adult themes and is not appropriate for listeners under the age of 18. And Mum, if you're still listening, that's on you.
Something doesn't seem quite right.
Hi, welcome to Not Quite Right. I'm Ed,
I'm Amanda.
and it's time for the category winners of the Not Quite Right prize for flesh fiction. And I hope you're sufficiently prepared for what's to come, because it's going to get a little bit steamy in here.
It's already a little steamy.
It's quite steamy, as always, at Not Quite Right HQ.
Just how we like it.
And normally I'd say we're at the pointy end, but I know you don't like when it's too pointy. So maybe we should say we're at the thick bulbous end. Because in this episode, we'll be revealing the winners of each category, as well as the overall winner of the Not Quite Right prize for flesh fiction.
Ooh.
And we'll be not only revealing the winners, we'll be reading them out. So that's 6 sexy stories coming your way.
I am already hot and sweaty, so this is going to be an interesting exercise.
And the night is young.
The night is young. The moon is full of cum. Ow!
But before we start, tell them, Amanda, what our contestants can win.
So each category winner will receive 100 Australian dollars, an annual pass to the Not Quite Right prize. So if you'd like to enter our regular competition, you'll be able to do so for 4 rounds. So it's a quarterly competition. Now, we had anticipated that these results would come out a little bit sooner and that would be a 2026 annual pass. But of course, we've been a little bit lax. So we're going to roll that forward and we're going to say the next 4 rounds of the competition you will have free entry to. And that gives you access to win a share in 4,000 Australian dollars each round. So $16,000 all up, publication there as well as here, and perhaps the pointy trophy of the Not Quite Right prize for flash fiction. So we would love to bring you into our little community of flash fiction writers there. And, you know, if you've done well here, you can absolutely do well there too. And we welcome erotic fiction.
We certainly do.
Obviously, it's got to be a great piece of fiction as well. But yeah, we're not shy about it. So, and we hope you won't be either. But I don't know, I don't want to preempt anything, but we do, of course, have some Not Quite Right prize participants in flesh fiction as well. So if you have already purchased an annual pass for this year, we'll figure that out. We'll reimburse you and we'll figure it all out. So not to worry with that. Each of the category winning stories will, of course, also be read on the podcast right now, which is an honour in itself. The fact that you have forced me to read it and get through my giggles and give Ed a shitload of editing work to do is good fun and a very huge part of the prize. And of course, you will be published in our flesh fiction collection. And we've said already, but it bears mentioning again, that many more stories than what made our long list, shortlist category winners will be invited to participate in our flesh fiction collection.
And we intend to release several volumes.
Yeah, there's going to be, the plan at this stage is 3 volumes. We've already started work on that and we will be getting in touch with people as soon as the results start coming out. So stay tuned for that and hopefully you're one of those authors. There were so many fabulous stories. So we really look forward to that. But of course, all these top stories, the winners, the category winners here today will be among them. And we look forward to that. And another little extra bonus aspect of the prize is that the Romance Writers of America will waive your membership fee and provide you with a digital toolkit. So we'll be getting in touch with the winners here today with the details for that. But hopefully that will spark something further, continue you on your erotic or romance writing journey. And finally, and perhaps for some most importantly, we will of course be sending a little toy as well, because, you know.
Who doesn't like to play every now and then?
That's it. If you've played the game, you want to win a prize. So among those prizes, we have the Satisfier Curvy App-Controlled Air Pulse Clitoral Stimulator. We have the Satisfier Twirling Fun Tip Pinpoint Vibrator and the Vush Gloss Rechargeable Bullet Vibrator. And they all come from Adult Shop.
Adult Shop is Australia's largest online retailer for adult toys. They're the destination for passion and pleasure since 1999. They pride themselves on offering an extensive selection of innovative and game-changing toys at unbeatable prices.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Adult Shop, for sponsoring our competition. It's been great fun and we're so glad that we're able to offer these fun prizes courtesy of you. So thank you so much. And for those of you who are either ineligible at this point for a prize or who don't receive one today, check out Adult Shop. You can get your own prize, damn it.
Treat yourself.
Why not? But also, in addition to that, we have another prize for our category winning stories today, and that is the Satisfier Sexy Secret Panty Vibrator with app control. Love a bit of app control, and that comes from Love and Lust Gosford.
And that means you can stick that in your panties and give control over to someone else, right?
You could just go to Jamboree.
Okay. Tell me what's happening in your mind palace right now.
I've gone to Jamboree.
You've gone to Jamboree with your vibrator on. And who's got the controller?
You know.
Okay.
I control the action when I'm at Jamboree.
Jamboree, hit us up with a sponsorship for Flesh Fiction.
So inappropriate. But no, on this occasion, that prize is sponsored by Pearl from Love and Lust at Gosford.
And Love and Lust is a little independent adult shop on the Central Coast, Australia.
Yeah, and I will say, like, obviously, many of our listeners are not from the Central Coast, but for those of you who are, there's a store in Gosford and then there's another store in West Gosford.
I drive past it all the time.
Do you now?
Yeah.
You don't stop in?
I haven't.
Oh, well, you should,
actually.
because I have, right? And I went in and Pearl was there and she is so lovely. I'd never been in a sex shop before. At least I don't remember going, like, actually.
Goody two-shoes here.
No,
I've
fucking
never
goody
been.
two-shoes, but like I hadn't, okay? And I did. And it was eye-opening to say the least.
Just eye-opening.
But, you know, she's so lovely. And it's not, if you're like me and you're a goody two-shoes, it's very intimidating. You think, oh, I'm not going to walk into this sex shop. But it was fine. And, you know, if you had questions, she would answer your questions. So I would encourage Coasties, if you're curious, absolutely go into the shop. She'll help you out. And it's not going to be weird. It's going to be totally fine.
And you walked out of there with bags, is what I've heard.
I actually did. And finally, and to be clear, it's one prize each for our category winners, but we have a couple more prizes to give away. And so we have two of the Tentacle Bullet Vibe sleeve with Vibe. And you can either use your imagination or you can go on our website to find out what a Tentacle Bullet Vibe sleeve with Vibe is. But those come from Odyssey Toys.
And Odyssey Toys entwine desire and darkness into every creation, crafting objects of seduction that captivate both the eyes and the senses. Each piece is a masterpiece of temptation where beauty and pleasure collide.
Ooh, hello. They are incredibly fantastical, I have to say. We've seen them in real life.
Yeah, close up.
Close up. I mean, they're in
Not
their
that
packaging. They're still in their packaging. But yeah, some very intriguing objects there.
Things that make you go, as well as,
So one of these items will be going to each of our category winners that we mentioned today and the stories that we're reading. So lots of great prizes, totally worth entering this free competition. We're very grateful to our sponsors for making it possible to offer such great prizes.
Absolutely. And there's more.
And there's more because our winner will also receive some additional things. So we'll get to that when we get to the, what was it? The bulbous end?
It was the bulbous end. It was the thick bulbous end.
The thick bulbous end.
Must know.
I must. So we'll get to those when we get there. But thank you again to our sponsors. And shall we get to it? Shall we read?
Let's read some stories.
Let's read some fucking smart.
And so before we get into it, that could almost use a donation in
I think it
itself.
should. Go for it.
We do have the innuendo jar locked and loaded and ready for penetration. I just penetrated it right now with $1. another dollar that will be going to a lucky winner that we'll announce on Patreon.
You got it in that time. That makes a nice change.
And we've got about 150 at the moment, 150 Australian dollars, and
let's see
growing.
if we can top that up today.
I think we'll be filling it nicely.
Oh my God. Okay. How many dollars is all of that? I'm going to put 2.
So these stories will be in no particular order, except that we will have the winner last. But we'll be reading out all of the category winners, and we're going to start with literary erotica.
Everyone's been waiting for this moment.
I'm really excited.
I know. I'm so excited to share these winning stories. So I'll shut up now and I will let you. I'll let you do the honors. Oh my God. Was that a kiss or a sniff?
It was a sniff.
Don't have to use tongue. Oh my God. You're going to get a paper cut.
I can't help sniffing paper. It's a problem I have.
They are literally like hot off the press.
They are.
You just got a new printer.
I did get a new printer.
And you're just,
now I'm just
exploring.
exploring the delicate folds.
All right. I'm in the mood now.
Okay.
Are you in the mood?
I've been in the mood.
All right, let's do it. Come on. Literary erotica. Let's go.
So the winner of the literary erotica category is Liver Spots by Martin Tolton. Morning. Finally. Some sleep would have been nice. Sun's bright. Got to stop putting the urn on the windowsill. Gap in the curtains. Oh my God. Really? Can't be. Bloody is. A morning glory. John Thomas is resurrected. The return of Stiff Willie. Dick is back in the house. Swear that filigree on the urn is bloody grinning. Take that as the nod and give it a rub. Oh, God, that feels good. It's been a long time. Hand swap. Make it feel like someone else is doing it. Always enjoyed watching you do it. Something hot about the purple helmet popping in and out of your tight little fist. Have to paint a liver spot by my thumb, where yours was. Odd what a turn on that turned out. Looked like a little tongue licking the lollipop. Proper horny. Up and down, happy days. Fuck, that's good. Shit, that's so fucking good. Oh, well, that didn't take long. Not much of a surprise. Must have been 6 months. Christ, spunk everywhere. Fuck, no tissues. Well, there wouldn't be, would there? Nobody bought them. No point faffing about. Use the duvet cover. It's time it was changed anyway. Yep, getting a bit ripe. 6 months is definitely overdoing it. Such a bloody palaver, as I remember. Really a 2-person job. Shouldn't have a super king. Right, no time like the present. Where did you keep the sheety stuff? Airing cupboard will be a good bet. Now, what was the story? Turn it inside out first, then grab each corner? Christ almighty, how much material do these things have? Who has an 8-foot arm span? Have to get a smaller bed. Okay, now it's just having a fucking laugh. How does a grown man get trapped inside a duvet cover? You must be pissing yourself. Who's the ghost now? Jesus Christ, can't see a thing. Oh, for fuck's sake, this is ridiculous. Where's the fucking bed? Ow! Shit! All right. Stop the blubbing. Be British. It was a fall. That's all. No harm done. Hips a bit sore. Hand hurts. Punching a wall does that. Pellic. Lay the duvet out on the bed. Pull the bloody cover up, little by little, one side, then the other. Slow. Calm. Do not look at the urn. Don't want to chuck you out of a first floor window. When walking downstairs, look at the stairs, not the bloody urn. One fall a day is enough. And stop talking to the thing. It's ridiculous. Not like you. She can hear anything. She's roasting down below or floating about on a cloud. Not much interest in duvet problems anymore. Right, love. There you go. In the front window where you like it. Oh, for God's sake, give over. It's a pile of bloody ash. Weetabix would be nice. Surprise, surprise. None in. Bit of toast then. 2 slices of mouldy bread left. Pick out the penicillin bits and stick it in the toaster. It'll be alright. Couldn't make this up. The plucked bits are browner. Toast got liver spots all over it. You really are taking the piss from your bloody cloud. What? Can't be. Who gets a boner from liver spot toast? Second boner in the same bloody day. What's going on here? Head's getting scrambled. Get outside. How long's it been? Too long. Bit of a walk. Fresh air and nature. Good for the soul. And for sad nutters who talk to cremated people. Maybe a bit of shopping. Some Weetabix. Fresh bread. Less rancid butter. Wouldn't go amiss. Lovely day. Feels different. Nice to see a bit of sun. All the girls out in their skimpy finery. These spandex legging things look like they're painted on. I swear you could make out the pubes. Oh God, she's looking at me. Must have been staring. Look away. Walk on. Old bloke leching at young hottie. Bad look. Get arrested these days. Anyway, too young to have liver spots. Nice hands, though. For heaven's sake, not again, JT. Get back in your bloody box. Freaking me out, this. Something must have exploded in the bonce. Get down, knob. Little Miss Cameltoe clocks you rising from your slumber. It'll be lunch in the cop shop. Not a bad store, this. You always liked it, didn't you? My little ash pile. Good wine selection. Okay. Weetabix, check. Tissues, check. Bread, check. Sod self-checkout. Not doing their bloody job for them. The old dear at till 6 seems friendly. Chatting to everybody. Can't stand these surly checkout boards. Never hurts to give a smile. To be fair, not been dishing many of those out for a while myself. Stitch one on. Get the pearlies on show. Oh my God, she's got a liver spot right in the same place. Laugh or bloody cry, but do not get a boner. Think about something else. Do not watch her hands bobbing to and from the scanner. Out without any major embarrassment? Now what? What the fuck is going on here? Denial? Anger? Bargaining? Depression? Been there, done that. Where does horny like a teenager, wild for a liver spot wank fit in? Some stress thing? What now? Go home? Bit more DIY? Should have brought a banana just to watch her bob it on the scanner. For heaven's sake, lad, get a grip. Go back in. Chat her up. Too soon? Too weird? After 40 bloody years? How's that even done? Hello, darling. Love your liver spots. Fancy a drink? Better get home and have a chat with the lady of the urn. For Christ's sake, not that again. Just get home. Blubbing and boners are not acceptable in public. Kettle on. What now? 75. Good for maybe another 10 years? Get out there. Keep living. Horse from the tubes. Beeping fucking monitors. Liver spot. Wristband. Cannula. Face whiter than the pillow. Get that picture out of your head right now. Just fuck off. Tea. Make the tea. Better. Good cuppa. Get out there. Easy to say. New face, new quirks, new wrinkles. A lot to get used to. Just a bobbing hand with a well-placed liver spot would be easier. Nice picture. Heaven's sake, JT, are you back? Why not? Stress buster. Got tissues? Well, that was surprisingly nice. Again? Twice in a day? Must be 10 years since that happened. Right. Whatever weirdness is going on, let's try going with the flow. Friendly lady with a nice smile and a beautifully placed liver spot. Everything starts somewhere. Direct approach. Frighten her to death. Who do I know that works there? Get a bit of background, maybe even an intro. Bloody hell, it's like back to school. My friend fancies you. So what? Worked then. Pretty sure young Jamie works there. Go back. Forgot butter anyway. God, this place is a shithole. Better sort that if we're back on the pool. Leave the lady of the urn in the window or put away in a cupboard in case I get lucky. Dear God, it's an urn full of bloody ashes. Just get back up to the shop. Good lad, Jamie, despite all the piss-taking. So, a recent widow. Moved up here, closer to the kids. No local social circle. Nice lady. Bit teary sometimes. Knocks off at 6. He'll put a word in for me. Okay, wait for her to clock off. Time for a pint to steady the nerves. Remember to buy mints. I don't want to turn up smelling of booze. Here she comes. Showtime. Hello there. Did Jamie mention me? Looks a bit startled. Maybe shouldn't have had the second pint. Still, a shy smile and a half nod. He tells me you're on your own. I'm on my own. I wondered if you might fancy a drink or a bite sometime. Not too bad. Haven't fallen over or anything. JT is behaving himself. Could do to stop the bloody shaking though. She looks sympathetic. Nice touch, the little pat on the arm. For fuck's sake, you are kidding me. A bloody tear. This is too embarrassing. Just go. What's she saying? Something about Jamie giving me a decent write-up. Nice to have a bit of company. Deep breath. Coffee then. She's all right. Like the way she smiles. A lot. This could go somewhere. Reckon the lady of the urn will be okay with it. They'd get on. That liver spot is mesmerising. Steady boy. Keep it together. Bit weird her wanting to know all about my bunions. Suppose we've all got our kinks. Not a deal breaker.
So congratulations, Martin. What an epic story. And this absolutely fits in the literary erotica category. It's very much a stream of consciousness kind of story with so many delicious little details in it. And I absolutely love this from the first read. And I think what stands out probably most prominently is the very bold and confident take on the theme. So, of course, the theme for this competition was making the unsexy irresistible. And Martin has clearly gone with liver spots on this occasion.
Yeah, and look, I think we said this on the long list episode or one of the episodes that one of the little gripes I had with some of the stories were when the unsexy thing was just an older person and that just being the unsexy thing. But what made this one work was that perspective and that stream of consciousness and the fact that we were getting like a sensitive take on that, and it wasn't just like old is ugly. It was highlighting the beautiful things about being old.
Yeah, and I think making it feel really resonant and real. Like, what is this guy going through? He's clearly still trapped in his grief, but also ready to start moving on from that. And fortunately for many of us, we're not in that position yet, but many of us, if we're lucky, will end up there at some point. And it's interesting to imagine that point of loss, but, you know, still being human underneath that too. And the fact that you can make the liver spot the crux of the matter in this story, I think was really, really clever. And, of course, you brought it in at crucial moments throughout the story. You didn't just kind of leave it there as a gag. You used it and you played on it and you made it feel really real and resonant. And that little moment at the end there with the bunions and we all have our kinks, I think that was perfect and so funny. And so much subtext too. We're talking about this other woman, you know, she's got a tear. She's clearly experiencing her own grief, I would say, through that subtext there. And so, you know, I wish them well, this couple. I hope they bonk on for years to come.
Yes. And just the fact of the liver spots obviously reminding him of his wife is very romantic
in a really fucked up kind of way, but like very beautiful.
And like the erotica here, this is an erotic fiction contest. And look, it did make the unsexy irresistible. I think it really met the brief. The erotic content here was not like a sex scene. It wasn't, you never see them bonk at the end, as you just so eloquently put it. But we do.
Oh, sorry, it's British, right? Shag.
Yes.
Shag.
I'm sure the British say bonk sometimes.
Well, they might, just for fun.
Yeah. But it is erotically charged and it's full of that desire. And there is like sexual content there. So, you know, it ticks all those boxes. So well done, Martin, on winning this category, the literary erotica category.
Absolutely. Congratulations. All right, now, so moving on to our next category winner. And I'm very excited to read this one. This one comes from the other category. And you might describe this as an historical piece of erotic fiction. And I believe this was an early favourite of yours, Ed.
It was actually. Yeah.
And this was one of the first that I read, actually.
Because
you marked it as a favourite. Oh, hello. Well, you marked it as a favourite. And so, of course, I was like, ding, ding, I'm going to read that one immediately. And it was fabulous. So without further ado, we have Whirligust by Sarah Royston. The stagecoach rattles across the moor. I try not to stare at the voluptuous woman opposite me. Her blue silk gown is fashionably low-cut, and the coach jounces with every pothole. My cheeks grow hot. She catches my eye and smiles. I'm Georgiana. She tells me she's an actress, asks where I'm heading. Catherine Ferrer, I mutter, self-conscious in my ugly dress. I'm travelling to Spain to enter a convent. She appraises my wedding band and mourning weeds. A widow, poor thing. I don't know how to respond. I'd barely got used to being a wife before my husband was skewered by a Roundhead's pike. Now, I'm a widow, soon to be a religiosa. I chose none of these names. They fit me as poorly as this dress. Must be lonely. Her satin slipper nudges my ankle, slides up my calf. I jerk away. She's beautiful, but my half-formed desire is aborted by a commotion on the road. The coach shudders to a halt. Sticking her head out of the window, Georgiana gasps. A highwayman. I clutch my skimpy purse. This is all I have in the world. Don't worry, sweetheart. She squeezes my hand. I've dealt with his kind before. How? I'm an actress, darling. I can be imperious or bawdy. Her face shifts as she speaks, a picture of outraged dignity, then a lecherous leer. Perhaps a quivering sparrow. Her voice and posture become delicate, fearful. I'm amazed by the trick, but before I can ask how she does it, there's a rap at the door. She gives hurried instructions. Over that hill lives a cunning woman called Sally. She's helped me before. Go to her. She'll take care of you. The door flies open with a bang. It's him, the highwayman, a tall figure in scarlet and black, face hidden by a mask, a feather in his hat, and a pistol in his hand. He bows with a flourish. Step down, fair ladies. Georgiana whispers. When I wink, run. She totters out, tremulous, lifting her skirts much higher than necessary, then swoons into the robber's arms, grabbing a handful of his hair to yank his face towards her cleavage. She winks at me. I leap from the coach and run. Hampered by stupid petticoats, I don't get far. I trip on a bramble, crash helter-skelter down a quarry side, twisting my leg. My mind blurs with pain. My eyes still burn with those glimpses. A scarlet jacket, a feathered hat, a thrill, not lust, but yearning. I black out. A woman is bending over me. Her dark hair is streaked with silver. Her eyes are shifting blue-grey. Firm hands rub an ointment on my shin. It smells of clove spice and metheglin. Bittersweet. At once, the pain begins to fade. Hazy, I remember Georgiana's instruction. Sally? She nods, then tells me to lie still. Let her medicine do its work. Bluebells nod about my head. Their fragrance mingles with the drowsy rich scent of the ointment. My eyelids grow heavy. A bee nuzzles a dainty silken bell. I dream I'm parting skirts like petals, pushing them up to soft thighs. I shouldn't. I stir, try to rise. Sally dabs my lips gently with the ointment, murmurs, "Shh. Let go." Suddenly, I am the bee, nosing into the wide open bell, my long tongue reaching, licking, teasing, seeking the honeyed liquid at her heart. I find a few drops, but want more. I withdraw and plunge straight into another flower. This bell is smaller. I must wriggle to get inside. Soon her petals embrace me, stamens smearing pollen all over my legs. I suck greedily, yet I am thirsty still. The third bell is even narrower. I smell her untouched elixir, a gift just for me. I try to go slowly. I can barely fit inside. But the scent drives me wild. When I can't hold back any longer, I bite her, ripping the silk till I can push deep inside. The flower shivers and I taste her nectar at last. An intoxicating rush. Just as suddenly, I'm back in my own skin, gawky and graceless as ever. I watch the bee fly off, sated and gold smothered. I'm bewildered by this dream, like none I've ever dreamed before. Afraid, yet longing to dream again. Sally strokes my hair. When I can't stand, she helps me limp to her cottage. My leg is badly hurt. She says I can stay while it mends. We share her bed, talking late into the night. In the darkness, something sparks between us like gunpowder. I realize it was her medicine that let my spirit fly. I whisper, "Do it again, please." She lights a candle and fumbles for the ointment, smears it on her lips. Her eyes turn black as sloes. I kiss her, hesitant at first. Then, hungrily, feel a giddy vertigo as my soul soars free. We flit through the window to the tangled moonlit garden. Entranced, we slip into new forms, taste the world with other tongues. I soon tire of moth wings and satin petals. I crave something darker, dirtier. We play as worms, twining in a love knot. Snails, slimy and enmeshed. She becomes a spider, makes me a helpless fly. She binds me in silken cords, nibbles my abdomen, spreading a delicious numbness. I give my body to her gladly, longing to be consumed. Our shared journeys become a nightly ritual. By day, we forge a friendship like no other. I grow to love her strange, shifting beauty. With her bittersweet potion, she grants me a fleeting taste of freedom. But always, at dawn, I wake in woman form. A dead ash tree stands at the garden gate. Green yaffingales throng to gorge on its beetles. A whirligust of woodpeckers, she calls them. I like the word. It reminds me of the delirious hurly-burly when she whisks me out of my skin. One hot afternoon, I see a different woodpecker, scarlet and black. I watch him, proud and gaudy, hammering the trunk, and feel a stab. That yearning again. Give me the ointment now, I say. Sally fetches it, scoops a daub. This time, instead of touching my lips, she slides slick fingers between my thighs. The rush is more intense than ever. At once I'm feather-clad, my bird heart racing. I preen my shining chest. She shifts too, pouring herself into the rot-blackened tree. I need you, she says. Something gnaws within me. Only you can set me free. My strong feet grip her, my beak an iron spear. I start to poke her. Tentative, afraid of causing pain. Harder, she begs. Drill me. I don't need further invitation. I find a rhythm, pounding her like storm rain, like lightning that strikes over and over. I was made for this. She gasps. More. Are you sure? Yes, yes, yes. She's screaming now. I feel the beast moving inside me. Please, faster, deeper. Splinters fly, her tree body yielding beneath my hammer blows. I'm lost in the thrill of my power. Suddenly, I'm close to my prey. Instinct takes over. I grab the squirming thing. The fat bulk fills my mouth, the juices bursting. I swallow it all. I come to myself, sweat-soaked, still jerking my neck. Cradle Sally as her shaking subsides. Feel the loss of my beak, an amputation, the dragging weight of breasts and belly, lumpen as clay. I bury my face in her shoulder. This isn't my true form. Change me again, Sally, please. She murmurs, drowsy. You can shape your own clay, my love, if you know who you want to be. As she falls asleep in my arms, at last, I understand. Like a robber, I lurk by the road until I hear the beat of hooves. He's unmistakable. That scarlet jacket, that cocky hat. Naked, I step into his path, force him to pull up sharply. Come to me, boy. He hesitates. I smile, slow and lazy, like an actress like a witch, like whatever I want to be. Lick my lips. Mesmerized, he dismounts. I see the bulge of his breeches. Sally tethers the mare as I lead him by the hand into a grassy glade. Take off your clothes. Mute, he obeys. The bold red jacket falls at my feet. When he's stripped bare, Sally picks up his pistol and points it at him. Go, go puppy, run. Her voice is whiplash. He turns his tail and flees, whimpering. I pull on the breeches. They hug my thighs but leave them free to move. Heart racing, I fasten the hefty belt, the supple leather boots. The jacket is a perfect fit. This is no trick of potions, no fleeting fever dream. This is me. Sally drinks in the sight, eyes sparking with desire. Such a dashing gentleman. Will you be riding off to plunder buxom damsels? Maybe later. I return her wicked grin. Right now, my business is with you. She raises a sly eyebrow. What do you want from me, you rogue? I twist her neckerchief in my fist and pull her close. Everything.
So well done, Sarah. What a tale that was. Tale of old-time debauchery and carriages and buxom wenches or whatever the words were.
I feel like that is the definition of debauchery.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if you had to put it in a dictionary, it would
Exactly.
be this story.
I felt this one was like, for me, first of all, there was the visual aspect. I loved like the period drama of it all. It's like 17th century, imagine 16th, 17th century kind of environment. And I loved those fantasy elements, the bee and the worms and all of the sexual acts described like in metaphor in that way. I thought that was really evocative and like gave this whole other character to what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, this story could have easily fit into the fantasy and supernatural category, I feel.
Yeah.
But it did have that historical aspect that set it apart. It's so funny because does sex actually happen in the story? Question mark. It absolutely does, but it's all expressed in this kind of literal birds and the bees kind of situation. The woodpecker stuff is very, very spicy. But what I also loved about this, and it would be remiss of us not to mention it, but it's telling a story of somebody who has, I guess, gender dysphoria, and that's something that gets a lot of airtime these days, but if we go back in history, didn't, right? And would have been a much more challenging proposition for someone to, on any level, whether it's about gender or literally anything, to fall outside the bounds of what society expects and what society deems as acceptable. So I found this a really nice exploration of that and subtle. It was very much told through this character's own specific journey, but this arc of them becoming the robber was really beautiful, I thought. Like they're just assuming this identity that perhaps they've always had, and they've made these realizations throughout the story. And I think that's what sets maybe this competition apart from our regular Not Quite Right prize for flash fiction as well. There's more words to play with, and I feel like this story really used those words to its advantage and made the most of them.
And you said this was an early favourite for me, and it was. And I think it expresses, I guess, what I was hoping to get out of this competition. We kind of went into it. I guess wanting to explore a little bit more depth in erotic fiction was one of the things that we wanted to see. And this is a story that is, erotic fiction is obviously highly sexually charged, but it is also deep in its themes and what it explores, and all of these elements around gender, as you mentioned, that the character kind of goes through.
But just identity as well.
And, you know, sexual awakening and all of that kind of thing feed into it. So it's a story in itself. It's not just a piece of erotica designed to get you off. It's a thematically rich story. So I love all those things about it.
One thing I just wanted to bring up, though, is that there was a little bit of a challenge with this story and something that I guess we had to grapple with as we were landing on our shortlist. And that was this rule that we had around consent. Now, our rule was that all parties to sexual activity in the story needed to be consenting adults. And you could be a little bit loose with that definition. If you're going to be an alien, okay, but you have to be kind of like an adult alien, that kind of stuff. But this story, she's drugged, right? And that is a crucial feature of her awakening in this story. And so we did talk about that at length. Like, is that okay? You know, clearly she's happy with the outcome. And so there's no question as it relates to how this person feels about the outcome. But of course, drugging someone,
not cool.
Not cool at its most basic level. And so we did have to talk about it at length. And I guess what we decided was that in this story, it was ambiguous.
Yeah.
The medicine that's talked about could just be medicine. These could just be dreams that are happening, that are things that she's provoked to dream anyway, and that she's dealing with as she's going through this experience. And I guess we made an argument for it. We gave it the benefit of the doubt and went with the interpretation that allowed us to see it as being consensual, which of course the ultimate outcome is. And that's what we wanted to do. We don't want to just arbitrarily strike stories out, but it does bear mentioning that drugging someone, even if the outcome is a good outcome, is not the way to get what you want.
And it was a tough decision. We had to think about this for several stories. For this one, I guess for me, what tipped it over the edge was it is a first-person narrative and the issue of consent is not raised by that first-person protagonist. And they don't raise this as an issue. They don't raise this as something that they didn't consent to.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, I feel that it gets a pass, at least for this competition. Like obviously we're talking about writing competition. We're not talking about real life here, but we're not encouraging any stagecoach ointment escapades by saying that. But it was a consideration.
No. Love a stagecoach ointment escapade. You just got to check that they're cool with it.
Yeah.
Just ask, you know, it really does help to ask. But truly, like there are multiple interpretations. We've gone with the favourable interpretation on this one. You know, it's a wonderful story. So I'm glad we could make an argument for it. As you said, it was an early favourite for you. It is a beautiful story. The character in this story is very happy with the outcome. And so on that basis, I'm really, really happy to award it the category win for the other category.
So well done, Sarah. So our next category is erotic romance. And our winner is actually a little bit of a dark romance. I think we showcased some light-hearted romances on our category episode.
Yeah, and I think there was some confusion about that. I think there were some people who wrote dark romance stories and then felt there was no home for them and put them in the other category. But romance doesn't have to end romantically with a happily ever after. Romance is just about the relationship between two people. So we did see some dark romances and this was one of them.
So the winner of the erotic romance category is Praise Song by Wes Robel. They pulled us out of the woods when I was 18. Most of the others didn't remember much about their parents anymore, or their homes. But I, at least, had held on to my address, whispering it over and over at night, just in case such a day finally came. So when the agent asked me my name, I told her they called me Harmonious here, but my parents named me Charles. And when the agent asked me where my parents were, I told her they lived at 1549 Grace Street in Robbinsdale, Minnesota, 55422. And when she asked when I had last seen them, I started to cry. But I told her August or September 1999. I was so little then, I sobbed. Do you think they'll recognize me? They didn't. I could tell right away. but my father hugged me and kissed the top of my head. My mother took my hands in hers and told me it was okay. I was home again, as if that was all it would take for the three of us to feel at ease. I went upstairs to my room, which had the television in it now, and a liquor cabinet where my wardrobe had been, and a couch in place of my bed. Though my father told me it folded out and that I was welcome to sleep on it, until they found me something more permanent. I knew they thought I was never coming back. I met with a counsellor through the state, the most overwhelmed woman I had ever known. She advised me to keep my chin up, to stay busy, find some hobbies I might like, to take my Prazosin for the nightmares, and to never go looking for the other boys Father Jonah stole. That time in your life is over, she told me. Don't go digging around for people from the past. They're trying to move on, same as you. But I knew it, Minister. I knew the day we were saved wouldn't be the last time I saw your face. I turned 19. In October that year, I dropped out of the GED program when I found a job at the guitar store, setting up instruments for kids I never got to grow up with. Then came 20. 21. The producer for a documentary about Father Jonah contacted me, promised me a lot of money if I'd sing for him. I told him I'd only do it if they could help me track you down. I never heard from him again. I got on the apps one Sunday while my parents were at church. They always went without me. I couldn't do it anymore. The ceremony, the music, and that, at least, they understood about me. I started with Facebook, but hadn't accounted for just how many people were online. I didn't know your given name. You were always Minister to me, because that's how Father Jonah baptised you. And that's who you were when I was kidnapped and brought to his choir at 6 years old. You were 8 then, and when he coaxed us to sing together my first morning in his woodland chapel, our voices liquid and clear, searching for the Lord. Harmonious, he declared. And for the next 12 years, they called me nothing else. I thought I'd be able to just scroll and scroll through all the men in Minneapolis till I saw your face. God, if only there were a way to search by bodies, I'd have found you in 10 seconds flat. Your shoulder blades and the small moles constellated between them. Your slim waist, your graceful neck, your long, pendulous limbs, just like mine. If the algorithm could have taken my hand and pressed it against skin after skin, man after man, I'd have known when it was you. Believe me, Minister, I've tried out there. Man after man, skin after skin. None of them were you. In my worst moments, I worried that the raid on the compound had nothing to do with Father Jonah at all, but some law we had broken with our kiss. It was summertime, moonless that night. We were in the conservatory, binding booklets with the scores for Father Jonah's latest hymns. He had been in one of his states ever since Resolution escaped earlier that week, composing 18 hours a day in his bedroom, letting choir practice and faith studies fall on the older boys like us. Our eyes had grown tired in the lantern light, bodies overwarmed by the sweltering air. We had stripped off our shirts, and the sweat on our bellies appeared to ripple from the lantern's small flame. As usual, I sight-read the sheet music as I fastened the pages together into hymnals, softly feeling out the ornamentation in the soprano parts to prepare myself for morning rehearsals. You watched me, as you often did, listening intently as I sang. I still remember the hymn's name, If I Were Hungry, drawn from Psalm 50. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine and all its fullness. I sang that refrain again and again, tongue dancing along the intervals, until you rose from your stool and stepped around the table, pressed your mouth against mine. I put my hands on your chest, my first instinct to push you away. Then I kissed you in return, slid my palms around the small of your back, brought you in closer. Neither of us knew what we were doing. We acted solely on instinct, on where our lips and tongues wanted to be. I had no context for life then, outside of Father Jonah's teachings on God and his love, and so I thought, this is what he made us for. I thought this is how he thanks us for our stewardship of the earth. I thought, so this is why we sing, to praise him for the capabilities of our bodies. We were up all night, finding new uses for our mouths, our hands. At one point you paused to extinguish the lantern flame, and that was the only time I told you no. I wanted to see you, to know that every time I opened my eyes, it was still you whom I was with. I pressed my cheek against your stomach, your thighs. I leaned you back against the table and fell to my knees, kissing your hardness and the long scar below, where Father Jonah cut you to preserve your sweet, childlike voice. My own scar throbbed between my legs, a phantom ache in my missing parts. But then you joined me on the floor and curled yourself around me, and with your fingers made me forget for a time that I was ever whole. It was just before dawn when we heard the noise, like a shot or a clap of consequential thunder. The agents battered down the door to Father Jonah's cabin and dragged him into the courtyard, handcuffing him face down in a carpet of pine needles. They stormed the dormitory and led the boys outside in their pyjamas, frightened and bleary-eyed as a woman from victim assistance brought them juice boxes. We squeezed each other's hands one last time, then threw on our clothes and stepped out into the sunrise. Resolution had found his way out of the forest. We were being set free. You found me in the park in late June, another moonless summertime night. I was sitting beneath a lamppost, praying to be cruised, to be taken in the bushes behind my bench. I knew it was you as soon as you rounded the curve of the footpath. So much had changed since I last saw you, but not the way your arms swung as you walked, the slight hitch in your skinny hips. You wore your hair down past your shoulders, and as you approached, I saw your arms were covered in tracks. "Minister?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. You stopped, as if I had struck you. From the look on your face, I was afraid you were going to run off into the darkness. After a moment, he said, "It's Emmett now." "Emmett," I said, trying the sound on my tongue. "It's me, Emmett. I'm Charles." Your face trembled and broke, and you threw your arms around me, sobbing, kissing me like someone was coming to pull us apart all over again. "Charles," you cried, "I thought I'd never find you. It's been so many years. I searched all over. God, I've needed you." The night was warm, but you shook and shivered against me. "Can we go back to your place? I never really found somewhere." "It's better like this," I said, rubbing your back. I took your hand and led you off the path, back to where no one might find us. "Here," I said. "Let me show you." So thank you, Wes, for your story, and congratulations on winning the erotic romance category.
The hotly contested category.
Very hotly. It was the second largest category.
Mm-hmm.
And winning it with like a non-traditional romance story.
Yeah, not one you wouldn't put it up in a museum of romance, right? But no, absolutely what we might call a dark romance.
It is very dark. I mean, there are obviously themes, more than themes of abuse here, and like religious, and I'm not sure if you'd say sexual abuse, but like definitely physical abuse taking place here.
Oh, I think you can imagine there's sexual abuse coming through as well. I mean, we're castrating people, like essentially, so that's a factor.
But I mean, what comes through is that longing and that, you know, that connection with someone. And like that's a common thing that people speak about. People have been through a trauma together and connecting based off that trauma and feeling like a really heavy bond with that person. And you know, no judgment about whether that's a good or a bad thing in this situation. It is a real thing, and it's something that they are working through together, and they're obviously both dealing with a lot of shit that is an outcome to that. So very dark, but also that romance element is very powerful.
Yeah, they're obviously extremely deeply connected. I think one of the things that maybe I found challenging about this story in terms of rating it more highly throughout the process was that it's not sexy. You know, it's sad. The overwhelming feeling is sadness and like missed opportunities. And although these two feel like they're meant to be together, they've come together through such awful circumstances. And of course, like therefore suffered trauma as a result and in their adult lives are still struggling clearly. And so it's not like, oh, wow, this is sexy. You know, it's like, this is really sad.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing I think I struggled with as an erotic piece of flash fiction. Certainly it's a piece of flash fiction with sex as a component, but as erotica, I didn't find it hot You know what I mean? It's too sad for it
Yeah.
to ever be hot.
Yeah, I agree that that's the case. It is overwhelmingly sad, and no one is reading this to get off. Hopefully, no one is reading this to get off. I mean, that's a problem in itself. But I think, literature is it's a wide net, and I think that it's worth exploring dark themes and sad themes in erotic fiction as it is elsewhere, and because people are inherently like erotic in a way, so. All of those elements are present inside people, so why wouldn't they be present inside a story?
Yeah. By no means does that detract from the story bit. It's what makes the story powerful. I guess when you're having an erotic fiction competition, you're like, erotic romance, you want it to be like this spicy sex scene where everyone's just like, there's a fountain at the end. But like, go on. You just like locked your lips now.
No, I was going to say, there was a fountain at the end, but then I remember they didn't have any balls, so there wasn't. So that's I didn't want to say my thought. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, we're expecting like it's erotic romance. Like we're expecting a couple to come together and for there to be fireworks and spice and for it to be hot and happily ever after and all of these things that you might want from a romance. And we did have other stories in this category that were like that. And so it is a challenge, and it's something that I guess we kind of debated when we were judging these stories. But ultimately, this was the story that we felt was very powerful, the one that affected us emotionally. And yes, being sexy is one thing. And of course, we did want to make the unsexy irresistible.
Yeah.
And that was a huge part of what we were looking for in these shortlisted stories, but also moving and being a piece of fiction that hits us hard, and this story did, and I think that's what saw it rise to the top. And that's not to discount the stories that were very beautiful and sexy and spicy, because of course we loved all of those too. But this is the one that stood out above the rest in the category.
So well done, Wes.
All right, well, I'm excited. Let's move on to the next category. So our category winner, and this time it's for erotic comedy. And this was our most popular category.
It was, so takes a lot to stand out.
It does. Pay the jar. And this was one that got me instantly. I enjoyed this from the very first read, and I'm so happy to see it as the category winner. Of course, erotic comedy being one of my favorite among the categories. And so our winner is Love on the Landline by Ivy Craven. My old girl might be as thin as tissue and shriveled to a whisper, but every now and then she speaks to me softly, very softly, and I thumb through her withered pages. I'll brush against her walls and the folds that hold secrets of lovers past until she moistens and fluffs up again like a sponge cake. Ever since my Ian passed, she's been stirring more often. That timid little voice of desire I remember hearing when I was young is growing louder. I suppose there's no one around anymore to keep me in check. All my married life, I'd been a good wife, modest, a pillar of virtue. Of course, Ian and I would have our relations every now and then. Not that it ignited much passion. It wasn't like in the movies when the lady is thrown onto the sand by a man with his shirt billowing and ocean waves crash over them in the throes of their lovemaking. Felt like he was fixing a car. Turn this knob. Oil her up. He'd rev his engine, check it still worked, and then, ho-hum, I'd be fixed till the next service. Ian didn't like it when I had my urges. He didn't think it was decent of a wife. I learned soon enough to lock that animal away and submit it instead to the regular tune-ups. But now, Ian is gone. I suppose I can let her run free, I guess you can say that I've become a very horny lady in my autumn years. Lately, the stirring down below happens at the most unexpected times. I find myself holding the plush flesh of a ripe tomato and biting my lip. The dog's wet tongue on my leg is enough to make me catch my breath. A light breeze beneath my petticoat will have me grasping for my crotch. It had all started innocently enough. A light brush of the fingertips against my cotton knickers every now and then, just to see if she still worked. Then I'd started creeping my hand beneath the faded fabric. Pretty soon I was moistening my finger with my tongue, the way you do before turning the page of a book and plunging into the depths of my old girl. And oh, I can make her go. It was like being reacquainted with a long-lost friend. We make our acquaintance quite often now, if you must know. I live a simple life out here in the country. I potter about in the garden, watch the telly, cook simple meals, throw the stick for the dog. There's no one I need to dress up for. No one but myself to wash up after. And I can leave the bed unmade if I please. I can sit on the porch with my cup of tea, look out onto my little garden and let my imagination roam. While I am happy keeping my own company, I do wonder what it would be like to feel the weight of a man against me again. Maybe this one would love my girl the way I can, the way I like. I suppose I'm too old for that now. It's not like I can doll myself up, go to a dance, send out a fish hook and wait for a bite. No one gives me a second glance anymore. I'm just a little old lady, just a scone-making senile old biddy. But they have no idea the things I imagine, the things I want to do. The day someone finally replied to the soft cries of my old girl was like any other. I was out in the garden as usual, weeding the flower beds, when I heard a ringing. I looked up from the dirt, startled. It was my phone. It hadn't rung for years. My knees creaked as I got to my feet and started shuffling toward the front door. The old rotary dial in the kitchen wailed like a cat. Out of breath, I snatched the phone from its cradle and lifted it to my ear. Hello? There was a bit of a delay, and then a voice as luscious as melted chocolate poured out of the receiver.
Hello, this is Vishnu from Community Bank. Am I speaking to the lady of the house?
Yes. Yes. Speaking.
I'm calling with a very exciting offer for you.
Oh, I gasped. I could hardly believe my luck. What stroke of fate had bestowed this god on the end of my landline? He sounded very young and handsome indeed. I clutched my hand to my breast and listened eagerly.
Now can I know who I have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Ruth. Ruth Spencer.
That's a lovely name, Ruth. How nice to meet you. May I take a few moments of your time?
I felt that familiar quiver. My girl was awake, and she had started with her whispering. Oh, Vishnu, you can take all the time with me that you need.
That's what I like to hear, Ruth. Are you currently satisfied with your financial situation?
I don't know if satisfied is the right word for it, Vishnu.
In that case, I think I'm ready to satisfy you with an exciting opportunity to invest in our crypto coin industry.
Oh, Vishnu, tell me more. Tell me how you'll satisfy me. I licked my lips and hiked up my petticoat.
If you make just a modest investment with us, your return will be very large.
Oh yes, I love a large one. How did you know I like things big? The man chuckled on the end of the line. My girl started to pulse with excitement.
Ruth, I think I can tell already just what you like. If you're ready to go ahead with me, I can help you make a small deposit into an account today. We can start building our investment relationship.
Now, Vishnu, no need to rush. Tell me more about this relationship of ours.
You're a smart lady, Ruth Spencer, I can tell. It's wise to be cautious when committing to an investment partner.
I'm not afraid of commitment, Vishnu. I'd just like to get to know you a bit better. These are my hard-earned savings, after all.
Ruth, I will make your savings explode.
Oh, he was too much, this one. My fingers slipped beneath the fabric of my knickers, and I started to rub my girl for all she was worth. You're a naughty man, Vishnu. Tell me more.
I have years of experience, Ruth. I make small, delicate investments grow into roaring fires of opportunity.
My girl ached deliciously beneath my hand, and I let out a small moan.
If you put your trust and a small amount of money into my possession, we could make something truly spectacular together.
How much do you want? I said, stroking myself eagerly.
As you said, Ruth, you like things big. How does $10,000 sound to you? Trust me, it won't stay that small for long.
Tell me how big it gets, Vishnu.
Oh, Ruth, it could just keep growing and growing. I'm an expert at making it last.
Sounds like you're the man I've been waiting for, Vishnu, I said breathlessly.
I need your credit card number now, Ruth.
I fumbled for my handbag on the kitchen counter with my free hand and took out my credit card. I'm ready, Vishnu.
Tell me those 16 little digits, Ruth. Tell me, slowly.
5, 2, 0, 3, 7, 1, 8.
Are there any more numbers on that card, Ruth?
I giggled girlishly, winding my finger around the telephone cord. I'll keep telling you if you keep talking to me.
I'll keep talking to you, Ruth. I want to make sure you get them right. I'm just as excited about our investment as you are.
Okay. Here they come. 8, 6, 4. I started panting furiously.
That's it. Keep going. You're almost there.
I was almost there. Waves of pleasure radiated from the tips of my fingers to my toes. Vishnu must have felt it ebbing from the phone line.
Are you with me, Ruth? I know there's more in there.
I got to my knees like a dog, thrusting my fingers in and out of my old girl. I began to whimper and moan.
I'm here, Ruth. What comes after 4?
Then I erupted in a violent explosion of ecstasy. My cries reverberated around the kitchen. The world began to spin luxuriously. I lay down on the floor, flushed and full, the receiver dangling above my head.
Ruth? Ruth? Are you there?
I grasped the receiver and slowly pulled myself to my knees. "Oh, Vishnu," I whispered. "That's enough for today now. I think you better call back later."
But Ruth, what about our investment?
"Don't worry. I'm still interested. You can make another deposit tomorrow," I said, clicking the receiver into its cradle.
So thanks, Ivy, for your story. I love the voice in this story.
Absolutely.
Like,
I don't feel like I did it justice. I tried, but the voice in my head
did
is
a great job.
Oh, thank you. The voice in my head is so much more fun than the voice I was able to convey. So I encourage people to, when we do publish these in the collection, to give it a read and give it your own voice.
Yeah, but all of the lovely little double entendres and the use of the old girl, and it just all came together, basically.
Oh, did it? No, I agree. And we talked about this in previous episodes, just about how like the unsexy thing was being old. Like, fuck off with that.
Exactly.
It's not unsexy to be old. Yeah. And that's not what this story was even about. The story's unsexy thing, at least as I imagine it, is the telemarketer. And, Ruth has a good imagination. She managed to make good of that.
And also, you got those personal details that fill that character as well, like her years of marriage and the lost husband and kind of what she's going through.
And being repressed in that relationship as well, and just feeling like, all right, well, he's gone now, so
it's my time.
It's my time.
It's Ruth's time.
It's Ruth's time, bitch. And we're here for it. Go, girl.
Yeah.
Go, old girl, if you will.
Yes, indeed. And it's a happy ending as well to
you
this
might
story.
say.
Yeah.
Hang on. I remember commenting when I first read this story that this was exactly the kind of story I was hoping to receive in this competition. Someone who had taken an unsexy thing and really gone with it, and really given it the attention it deserved to make it sexy. As humans, we can literally, if we want to, turn anything sexy if we want and frequently do, right? And this was a perfect example of that happening, and I really appreciated that. I appreciated Ivy leaning into it, not pulling any punches, and making it as sexy as possible. It was good fun.
I think that's called on the internet. Is it Rule 34 on the internet?
I don't know. You tell
me.
me.
Look it up just to make sure
Please
I'm not talking shit. And Rule 34, and I quote, "If it exists, there is porn of it."
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're doing here with the Not Quite Right prize for Flesh Fiction.
We're trying to plug those remaining gaps, I feel.
Fill them in.
Fill every crevice, every nook, every cranny.
Or granny, if you will.
We'll fill every granny.
Fill every granny. I think that's the tagline for a dating app that may not yet exist.
I hope it exists by the time I'm a granny. And if not, I will fill that niche.
So congratulations, Ivy, on winning the hotly contested erotic comedy category.
Absolutely. There were so many epic stories in this category. So for you to stand out is a huge achievement. Thank you, Ivy, and congratulations.
Okay, so let's move on to our second last category, our penultimate category. And it is, in this case, kink and taboo. So the winner of the kink and taboo category is Ablation by Javier Bateman. I have been told I love too deeply in a way that is unsettling, unseemly. I am in a shitty little bungalow with a dark-haired man who feeds me whiskey I don't like and smells so heavily of cigarettes that it should make me sick. He leans back on the couch, the image of evangelical masculinity, a God-given right to punish and condemn. Desire, like a roach, crawls up me. It settles inside my throat and macerates my mouth. How am I meant to love less? How am I meant to feel less deeply? How is everyone else not needing to tip their head back, feel the click of their jaw as it unhinges itself, disarticulated, limp like a paper doll, and devour? He blinks. It reminds me of a lizard, flicking its tongue against its own eye to keep it moist. They bulge out of his too gaunt face. But I am here, holding his gaze, despite the way it seems to make my skin crawl. He takes his time, languid, loose, leans forward to pull his smokes from his jacket and lights up in front of me. His eyes are on me. Under his gaze, I'm keenly aware of myself as a thing, a body like a sack of meat. And he is Rocky, circa 1976. The room is thick, the air sour with the smell of his body, permeating like rot throughout the house. I feel my fingers twitch against my thighs like little worms. I'm concerned by the image my brain conjures, my skull held by him, my lips parted and wet, a string of saliva connecting us, only for it to be crushed into things pulpy and pink. I'm more concerned about why the image makes me throb. The silence is overwhelming. How are there words for what I want to say? I've scoured dating apps to find a man who seems revolting. I've chosen him as my best possible match. I'm here to deprave myself, and he is here to deprave. There is kindred understanding I can see in his eyes, a soft recognition of self in the other. It's there and it's desperate in a way that would have my friends pity me. And fuck me if that isn't so hot I can hear the blood thrum in my throat and against my eardrums, like a rush of waves. Want a smoke? I shake my head. My insides are liquefying. I'm burning up. I'm at risk of frothing out of the confinement of my body, spilling out blood, intestines, and desire all over his floor, like a crime scene. He takes a long drag before ashing it over the edge of his seat. He tilts his head to the side slightly, assessing me. My stomach lurches. With a curled finger, he motions me towards him, spreading his legs on either side to grant me the best seat in the house. My body moves with embarrassing urgency. I fall forward onto my knees audibly, hiss slightly at the sting, but feel myself clamber over to him desperately, like some horrible in-between of baby and beast. I settle between his thighs. His hand presses against the side of my face. From here I can smell the sour, sweet tang of cock pressing against his pants. His hand is not exactly gentle, but not unkind. He rubs the pad of his thumb against my cheek, and I try to ignore the stench of tobacco that seems to live in every pore of his body. You're pretty," he murmurs. It's not intended as a compliment. I feel unclean in the most biblical of senses. Do you want to be pretty? My heart shudders, crawling its way up my esophagus. I shake my head, just barely. He may not have even noticed it, were his hand not on my cheek. When I do so, he smiles in a way that promises nothing but violence. My body seems to sing at the threat. I tremble. Huskily, he says, "Open your mouth." I'm pliant and moan as he unceremoniously shoves his cock down my throat, moving the hand on my cheek to the underside of my jaw and his other hand to the back of my head. He sighs like he's sinking into a bath, and I glow. Good. I feel good. He pulls out almost all the way before thrusting back in, fucking my mouth at a brutal pace. It's as if he's trying to rearrange me from the inside out. My tongue moves sloppily around him, barely getting a chance to press against the veins of his cock or slide against his foreskin before he moves. Frenzied, deeper, faster. His hold on my head makes me feel like a fleshlight. I'm barely moving. I'm being moved, an orifice to fuck, some sexy, vacant-eyed object. My cock twitches in my underwear, and I groan, guttural, animalistic, with my mouth full of him. I think of the devil on his goat legs as he stands up slightly now, bent over, fucking my throat open, giving a voice to the wet sounds of my mouth, the garbled, aimless noises being pulled. He throttles me from within. My mouth is pulpy and pink. He moans some half-gargled thing, his throat slick and clawing with what I can only assume is smoker's lung mucus. I picture a knife driving into me, gouging out soft parts of my body. There's a niche to the left of my chest I think I could fit him into. In no version of this story is this a man that I should fit into my life. He pulls his cock out fully, and I whimper. My throat is too empty. I can't feel the slap of his balls against my chin, or smell his sweat against the curl of his pubes pressed into my nose anymore. He snorts, and I'm pinned in the sticky, sweet heat of mortification and desire. Get on all fours. I want to fuck you open. I'm nothing if not malleable. I allow him to manhandle me, push me down against the rancid-smelling carpeting, feel the bristling of fibres against my cheek as he presses his hand to the back of my neck. There is a weak voice somewhere in my brain, something saying, "Danger," just softly enough that it sounds a little like a heartbeat. Da-dum. Danger. There is a louder voice too, whiny. All he says is, "More." He shoves my tracksuit pants to my knees and kneels behind me, pushing more of his weight against the back of my neck. I feel the cold of him spitting against my asshole and yelp, frotting against the carpet and my bunched up pants. I can feel the head of his cock press against the tight ring of muscle of my asshole and whine loud almost embarrassingly. Sparks flicker up my spine. My cock throbs painfully between my thighs and fuck, it hurts. He pushes forward, just barely able to get the head of himself into the tightness, the heat death of my body. The drag of his cock inside me feels like the same heat of a tattoo gun against my hip. Fuck, he groans, and my God, it sounds like poetry from his mouth. It must be the prettiest he's been to me the whole night. He presses his mouth against my shoulder, panting, wet and open-mouthed like a mutt. His teeth scrape against my back. I writhe, push up on my hands to press my back closer to his chest, neck tilting back. An invitation for the beast to tear me open. My want twists and pulses in a way that disgusts me. He bites the soft flesh of my neck where it meets my shoulders and pushes himself about halfway inside me. My insides protest, pain so startlingly sharp that I feel, finally, my erection droop slightly. His tongue lathes the wound he gave me, almost apologetically. His hips draw back slowly, and then I'm winded yet again as he pushes back into me. I cry out, "Oh!" There may be words coming from my mouth, but they're so slurred that they barely count. We are a twitching mass of slick, shiny bodies. His breathing is laboured and ragged against my back. As the pain dulls to a hot ache, I feel myself wriggle under him, trying to match my hips to his slow, deep thrusts. Trying to be one body. He gasps, and with a shuddering shove, comes inside me. I groan, feeling his cum fill me, and his cock pulse, before I come ungracefully myself. His cock goes limp and is pushed out almost too quickly by my asshole, and I hiss at the rush of cool air. We lay like this for some time. The smell of his home becomes unctuous. Sex, sweat, nicotine, and dark things I don't want to put to words. I learn from him and others what kind of creature I am.
So congratulations, Javier. Thank you so much. And what a wonderful, powerful story to take out the kink and taboo category. And I think we're talking taboo here, right? And I have to say, this scene for me really evoked the TV show Euphoria and the storyline of the character Jules.
Yeah.
So this character who's going off and having sex with problematic men in a motel and, I don't know, almost like self-flagellating, like punishing themselves about this. And it's dark, it's disturbing, it's sad, but it's also incredibly powerful and very character-driven. We're very much in the character's perspective here. We talked about this in the last story, but you're wanting sexy stuff, right? And while this was deeply sexual from beginning to end, it wasn't sexy in a way, like it wasn't turning me on. I mean, I'm speaking for myself here. It was very sad. It was disturbing. You know, you feel sorry for this character. That's not the grounds upon which you build a super spicy scene usually, but very, very emotionally gripping and powerful and a very strong story for that reason.
Well, look, we don't choose what we find sexy. And I think that's what this story is about. It's about feeling loathing, I guess, and self-loathing for one's own attraction and what you're attracted to. You know, it's dark. And we spoke on previous episodes about the kink and taboo category and some challenges that we had with it. And there were a lot of dark stories. You know, this one rose to the top because, you know, it was so sexual, so explicit and charged. But also all those elements of story, it does have that character and it does have more depth than just the surface level sex.
Yeah, and I think a lot has to do with the conflict, right? But I just wanted to call out some lines that really spoke to me and I felt very powerful and relatable, you know, not necessarily with this character specifically, but just this feeling. And the line was, how am I meant to love less? How am I meant to feel less deeply? How is everyone else not needing to tip their head back, feel the click of their jaw as it unhinges itself, disarticulated, limp like a paper doll, and devour? This idea of being someone who just like, you're being told, chill out, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, no. And that's what this scene is, right? It's very much like, I know this is too much, but this is what I want. And I think that's what's powerful there. And just as an extension of that and very much linked to that thematically, but he blinks. It reminds me of a lizard flicking its tongue against its own eye to keep it moist.
Yeah.
And that's such a powerful image. Again, kind of disturbing, I guess, but such a really cool image to evoke. So some really, really powerful lines in this story.
And this story really effectively mixes all these visceral elements, like the dark ones and the dirty ones, along with like the really sexual ones in a way that
but
is
also, like just
confusing.
Like emotional and powerful and like intense. And this is the experience of many people in the world. They just are intense. They feel things very deeply and it takes a lot to fill that need for intensity, I guess. And that's what this scene did for this character. It met that level of intensity that they needed to feel alive almost. And I think that is what, for me, mirrored Euphoria. Yeah. And what brought that to mind for me, it was very, very powerful story. Again, not so much sexy for me, more just deeply moving.
Yeah, so thank you, Javier Bateman, for your story and congratulations on taking out the kink and taboo category.
I just want to ask you, Ed, how you feel about reading out these homoerotic stories.
Yeah, well, I'm not gay. And so these are...
Is it making you gay a little bit?
No, we talk about this in the long list episode, I'm pretty sure, about the fact that like it doesn't really matter what the gender of the characters is. It's all about the emotion, what they bring to the story. So like this is outside of my comfort zone and outside of what I would like read generally. But, you know, the story itself is great. So I didn't really have a problem
I feel
it.
like you did it justice.
Thank you.
So well done. And so finally, after all these amazing stories, we get to the overall winner. So this is not only the winner of the category, but the winner of the entire competition. And the astute among our listeners may realize that this story comes from the fantasy and supernatural category.
And you said earlier that this is your surprise standout category for yourself.
Yeah, so no wonder that this is the winning story.
The cream, as it were, rose to the top.
This isn't the creamiest of stories, I have to say.
Oh, what was the creamiest of stories?
No, I'm just saying this is a dirty story.
Literally lots of dirt in the story.
Quite literally. So this, again, isn't just the category winner, right? This is the winner of the entire competition and as such wins some extra prizes. Okay, so number one, the number one thing that we must mention is the trophy.
Yeah. So those who are familiar with our Not Quite Right prize for Flash Fiction Trophy, the famously pointiest trophy ever. So the winner will win something very similar.
Yeah.
But it will be a unique, one-of-a-kind Flash Fiction Trophy.
That's right, but still pointy, which is important. Which is important.
It's very important.
Very important. Also very important. They will also win, perhaps more importantly, depending on what your attitude might be, but 500 Australian dollars, not too shabby. A little investment perhaps towards your writing career.
$500 is great, but that trophy is priceless.
It's
a one of a kind.
Look, do you know what? They get both. So they don't
exactly.
even need to
need to
decide
choose.
what their favourite is. They will also win an annual pass to the Not Quite Right prize for flash fiction, which will give them the opportunity to share in additional prize money. It's 4,000 Australian dollars each round, so every quarter, $16,000 in a year. And so free entry to that competition, hopefully a bit more fun. And again, we mentioned earlier in this episode, but we welcome erotic fiction. Bring it on. Romance, whatever it might be, fantasy and supernatural.
We welcome it with open arms.
Just arms or...
You tell me.
We're just open. Let's put it that way. In addition to that, as with all of our other category winners in this episode, the Romance Writers of America will waive your membership admin fee and provide a digital toolkit to help you on your romance writing journey for Australian authors. If this happens to be an Australian author, you will receive also a 12-month membership to the Romance Writers of Australia, valued at 129 Australian dollars. Finally, you will also receive a 12-month platinum membership for Adult Matchmaker. Again, this is for Australian entrants only. That's valued at 335 Australian dollars, and with thanks also to Adult Matchmaker as a sponsor of this competition. We've mentioned it before, but it bears mentioning again that if you enjoy smutty stories, you need to get your ass over to Adult Matchmaker.
Yeah.
They have an entire blog which is steamy stories written by people in their community, and I've been on there. Have you been on there yet?
I haven't actually.
Oh my God, get
No.
on it. It's fucking hot.
Okay. I should have gotten on there before I wrote my story. I might have gotten some inspiration.
Maybe. There is something for everyone. So if you are enjoying the spicy stories, I might even go so far as to say it gets even spicier over there on their blog. So something to look forward to. But also, of course, we're going to read the story now, and the story will appear in our Flesh Fiction collection. In fact, it will be our very first story in volume 1. And I am so excited to publish this story. It was a standout from the first time I read it. I believe it was a standout for all three of us judges who read it on first reading. And so naturally it should rise to the top. And although I'm nervous, I'm very excited to read it and share it with the world.
Yes, super excited to reveal the winner of the prize and this story, which, as you said, was a standout for all of us and super sexy. So let's hear it.
So without further ado about nothing, the winner of the Not Quite Right prize for Flesh Fiction 2025 is As They Like It by Hester Prem. The moon is up. He must come. Moonlight transforms the shadows beyond her greenhouse into woodland. It overlays her serious face on the glass. Rosalind has already tugged out the combs and pins that cage her hair. She has thrown off her clothes, the daring above the ankle skirt, the ordinary box-pleated blouse, corset, drawers and sturdy shoes, and donned a paisley silk dressing gown. He likes to undress her before having her on the daybed in the corner, but she does not want that slow tease tonight. The muscles between her legs beg for him. Their ache drove her wild today. She dug the kitchen garden like a demon. The men, used to ignoring Lord Coxley's strange daughter doomed to spinsterhood, had stared. She had imagined tossing her spade aside and lifting her skirt to reveal her drawers. She had pictured herself stretching the open crotch seam wide to reveal the V of her hair. Is this what you can smell, boys? She scoops compost into a small terracotta pot from a tin bucket on the table, then makes a hole with her index finger. Will he come tonight? Does he still want me? Movement among the trees. A detaching shadow. Rosalind ducks her head over a wooden tray of cosmos seedlings, snatches up a pencil and uses it to lift out a plant. She places the seedling in the pot and pats the compost down around it. Next. The old piano stool swivels as she works mechanically. Fill a pot. Make a hole. Prick out. Add seedling. Press down. Breathe, Rosalind. She squeezes her thighs together, and the ache draws out, worsens. The thud of her heart fills her head, yet she hears the hinges of the iron door creak. At the pad of his feet, her breasts begin to swell. She knows he is naked. He is always naked. Next pot. Stay on task. The steady rhythm of his feet causes her to imagine it swinging side to side. Or perhaps it is already risen and engorged. And then he is there, hugging her from behind, leaning in over her shoulder, like a regular man would. Laughing hazel eyes, full lips, tawny hair. He smells of fresh wood shavings, like he's newly hewn each time he comes to her. His smile is knowing. Can't wait, my Lady Rose. Is she too obvious? Her blue blood rebels. Oh, hello, she murmurs. Wait, please. I must finish this tray. Carry on, he whispers. I will watch. The playfulness in his voice prickles her skin. Steadying her hands, she fills one pot after another, very aware of his chest rising against her spine, of his bare thighs straddling her stool, and, after a few moments, of a strong nudge against the small of her back. She uses an earthenware jug to water the pots she has filled, and the splash reminds her of the moistness between her legs. God, how she wants him. Why has she stupidly locked herself into this task? When she fills the next pot too quickly, he says, "Careful, you're spilling compost." Compost and soil are precious to him. She discovered his fixation during their first meeting, alone together in the kitchen garden. He had worn a cotton shirt, moleskin trousers and work boots, so she had assumed he was a new hire, until the dirt on her palm caught his eye. He had taken her hand, cupped it to his mouth and licked it clean, his tongue rough as bark. Its abrasiveness drove her dizzy. "Your name, sir?" "Orlando." A character from her favourite Shakespeare play, As You Like It, who falls in love with a Rosalind. A lie, obviously. But she had not minded then. As Rosalind pricks out plant after plant, fills hole after hole, he licks his lips. His hands slip from her waist, trail down her thighs to her knees. Another pot and his fingers rush up the silk of her dressing gown until they brush her skin. Next pot, his hands skim up her thighs towards home. Yes, yes. Casually, she spreads her legs, and his fingers coast right past her ache to toy with the coarse hair above it. It is delightful, but she wants to scream. Orlando, please. He presses himself harder against her back. Prick out another. She scoops compost into a pot, inserts her finger to create a depression, and his hands ease her open. His 2 index fingers slip inside. Ah! Her legs tremble. Is this a new game? She plunges her finger down to the hole in the pot's base and he delves deeper. She circles her finger, slowly churning the decomposed matter, and his fingers sweep, making her walls throb. She retracts her finger from the pot, then jabs it back down into the hole. His fingers retreat, then push against her clenched muscles. So tight, Rose. Too long without me? Simply Rose now. Yes. A cloudy fortnight, she pants out as his fingers dip again. She loves his fingers. He withdraws them much too soon. As she tries to snatch them back, he swivels the piano stool round, and there he is, standing before her in all his naked glory. His chest hair arrows down towards his erection. He crouches before her, licks her pot-soiled hand clean, then guides it towards her ache. Do as I did, Rose. I'm not certain I ought. Trust me, I know what you like. She purses her lips. How do you know? Instead of answering, he lays his sticky index finger along the length of hers and points the way in. Their fingers enter together. She gasps, expecting it to feel wrong to touch herself like this. But it does not. He removes his finger, another lick, and then he grasps his erection and begins to work his hand up and down it. Rosalind is scandalized that he handles himself so. But she is entranced too, and her own hand is moving. She explores the shape of her secret interior, and every touch is a delight. Slow at first, then quicker, keeping time with the motion of his clenched hand. If someone were to pass by the greenhouse now, the idea of it thrills her. She pitches her pelvis higher. The moment she tips her head back and looks up through the glass roof at the crescent moon, his breath touches her swelling. He is breathing her in, and then his soft mouth, his rough tongue are there. She watches his head bob. Her wet fingers find his face, and then the ecstasy comes. It starts near her tailbone and sweeps forward. Wave upon wave of utter bliss. She is too choked to cry out. His tongue laps and laps. She strokes his swallowing throat. Eventually, when he speaks, his voice is raw. My root needs its beautiful hole. Come here then, she rasps. Let me be your pot. She undoes the tie of her dressing gown and lets the silk fall to the flagstones. She shifts her bottom forward to the stool's edge, then leans her elbows back on the table and points her breast towards the night sky. His erection glistens. He widens her legs steps between them and drives his enormous root home. Her wet walls stretch and swallow him until their pelvises kiss. He glides back, then thrusts. The stool jolts, the pots rattle, the seedlings quiver. She whimpers, for he is butting hard against a sweet spot hidden deep inside her until now. She wants to cry out his name, but the name is wrong. He is not an Orlando, just as she is no lady. The bucket is close by. She shifts her weight onto one elbow so her opposing hand can fist compost. She grimes her heavy breasts, her stiff nipples. Her hand lingers, squeezes her sensitive flesh. His eyes are closed. He is panting, consumed wholly in the act of planting himself as deep as he can go. As he rams her, she spirals higher. A new tingle starts near her tailbone. Again, yes. She cries out a better name for him. Forrest! His eyes snap open. There is something ancient and unknown in their hazel depths, but she wants to know it, know everything. She wants to know all of him, not just as a man, but as the creature he really is. Beloved Forrest, she says, eat. Forrest beholds her soiled chest, bares his beautiful teeth and swoops. Oh, his fiery mouth. Oh, his abrasive tongue. His thrusts quicken, sharpen. The table jerks, pots topple. His caked lips suck her nipple to a razor point. Rosalind moans, digs her fingers into his hair and arches. A hot gush explodes against her triumphant walls. Rose! His cry shakes the greenhouse glass. The soft tufts of his hair change between her fingers. They become green leaves. And her bliss roars.
So thank you so much, Hester Prim, and congratulations on not only taking out the fantasy and supernatural category, but the whole damn thing. You won Flesh Fiction.
You
Well
fucking
done.
won.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Out of almost 500 entries, yours rose to the top.
And I'm not sure that you know this about yourself, Hester, like that you are a smart writer. Are you learning this
In
for the
your
first time?
soul.
I actually know this author. I know that they have written sex scenes. I know that they write romance. And apparently their calling is the smut side. Sexy plant dude. I'm here for it.
Sexy Plant Dude was actually a recurring theme.
Yeah.
This comp, we had a few sexy plant stories, which surprised me because it never had crossed my mind.
Maybe it's a female gaze situation. We love plants.
Who knows?
I really fucking love plants, I have to say. Your wife.
Do you love plants
No,
this
excuse-
much?
A little.
Oh.
Your wife went to like 5 nurseries today.
That's true.
You need to reflect on that.
That's true. What goes on in the nursery stays in the nursery.
She was talking about how dirty and muddy one of them was. So, she was having a great time. Not to drag you into this, sorry, Sharon, but also,
Well, you
know.
learn something new every day. And today I learnt about the female gaze and plants, of all things. But this is one of those stories that I think, we've spoken about like monster sex and the whole fantasy genre in the past on other episodes of the podcast and kind of tried to tease it apart and work out what makes it tick. And I think this is a great example because reading this story, like it's a plant man and he has characteristics of a plant, but it works.
It totally works. I mean, he's very much also still a man.
Yes.
And I mean, this is one of the ones we talked about not getting a lot of fairy smut because, of course, fairy smut gets a lot of airplay in pop culture. And this is probably more in the realm of fairy than it is maybe monster.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's got that sort of natural component to it. And it works. And it's not my thing, I have to say. Like this is not something I would go into the competition thinking that I would choose as the winner. But it got me. It was very real and raw. And it's like making the monster very specifically your desire, and I think that's what works here, that for this character, this monster, this plant man met her where she was at. She's like, I'm the weird spinster lady. I don't fit in with society, but this guy, this is where I'm at, and I think there's resonance in that, in feeling like the outsider, in feeling like no one understands you, and then finding someone who does.
Yeah, and we learned this lesson with every good flash fiction or flesh fiction story is that the character is the most important thing and the emotion is the most important thing. And we get like her longing in this story and her desire. And the antagonist, I guess, if that's the right word, in this story is the manifestation of that desire. So be it human, plant, monster, it doesn't really matter in the end. It's really just speaking to that emotion.
And it bears mentioning that it was fucking hot.
Yeah.
We've had some other category winning stories that are like erotic but sad or disturbing. And this one is just fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like everyone's having a good time. And there's something to be said for that in erotic fiction. There's conflict still. And this is something that we saw in some of the stories. It was like, do you want to have sex? Yep, let's go. Bang. And great. But from a storytelling perspective can be less satisfying. Whereas in this one, we did still have that push and pull, the conflict, the kind of character arc of just really coming to accept who she was as a person through this relationship with this character. That was really powerful as well. And that's what made this story stand out above all the other amazing stories.
That's right. So really well done, Hester Prim, on your story, and congratulations. The pointy trophy is coming your way. It is a pointy trophy. It is not girthy and bulbous, but
It's a little bit girthy. I mean,
I've never measured it. But
if you were confident about yourself and about trophies,
I guess if it was the only thing at hand, you can make do.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
But you will also be receiving some other fun things. So maybe just hold out for those before you resort to the trophy. But like, I'm not ready to let this go. This has been so much fun and just so many amazing, powerful, sexy, hot stories. We have been enjoying them in the privacy of our own homes. We have now had the pleasure of sharing just some of them with our audience now. And of course, there are many, many more. So I think we mentioned earlier in the episode that we're hoping to bring 3 volumes of smut.
Binders
of hot shit. Something for everyone, right? A little bit of everything. Whether you like the fantasy and supernatural, something a bit more literary, the romance, not just dark romance, but happily ever after too. And I can't wait to bring that to the world. And I hope that you, all of our listeners, buy copies of these books, but also let's make it go fucking viral. If 50 Shades can go viral, why not?
Absolutely.
Flesh fiction. Let's read them out on the trains. If someone asks us about it, let's share the love because this has always been a labour of love for us. It's been a free competition. We've donated our time. Of course, our lovely guest judges have donated their time. And all we want is to just bring more fun to the world. And so I hope you help us in that goal.
And so the Flesh Fiction collection, the first volume, will be coming very soon, in the first half of this year, and another 2 to follow.
And I just wanted to let everybody know that we will be including our own stories in the Flesh Fiction collection. Won't tell you which volume they'll appear in.
And we won't tell you the name that they're submitted under either. Maybe you'll figure it out.
Maybe you'll sense it on some deeper level. I hope everyone enjoys. And if you figure it out, send us an email, send us a message, a DM, slide into our DMs. Let us know that you enjoyed our stories.
And also a reminder that we are offering Bear Devils as part of this competition. We normally do Daredevils as part of our regular competition, where we will read out a story and we will critique it on the air, share our thoughts and rip it apart.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
Learn from the experience. And we're doing the same thing now with Flesh Fiction. So if you've entered a story in Flesh Fiction and you want to become a Bear Devil, you will have received an email explaining exactly how to do that.
So I think we have 3 people as of the time of recording who have signed up to get a whipping from us.
We can't wait to whip you.
We can't. And there are 3 more spots. So whether they get taken up or not, I'm not sure how many more people will be confident enough to take that whipping. But we're here to give it to you if you want it.
And so as a little bonus, we have badges for this competition for Flesh Fiction as well. If you head over to the website and go to the honor roll on the website, we have badges there for everyone who longlisted or higher, but also little bonus badges for stories that had a little bit of something that we wanted to just call out.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun little extras there. So go and check out the honor roll, whether you made the long list or not. You might find a little surprise there. And I hope that you celebrate your fellow authors who have achieved in this competition and promote their work elsewhere. I know this is a little bit of a maligned area of fiction, but deserves to be in the spotlight.
Absolutely. So grab your badge, throw it up on social media and just fuck it. To hell with it. Just do it.
And
Be
listen,
brave.
on that note, if you decide that you want to ditch the pen name and come out of the closet as an erotic fiction writer, get in contact. We are more than happy to give you your real name on the badge so that you can share it with pride, because I am so proud of every single person who entered this competition, including you, Ed, and including
you.
myself, including
You
Dean.
entered twice.
No comment. But, I put myself out there. I wrote some shit.
I
know.
That
is like a lot.
Yeah.
And everybody who entered this competition wrote a lot.
Yeah.
A lot for themselves, like more than they would be comfortable sharing normally. And fucking good on you.
Yeah. It's been so much fun getting out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
We appreciate everyone who's done the same for us.
Absolutely. And of course, as always, it's subjective. What we chose as our winning stories and our long-listed stories may have been different for other judges. And if you loved your story, it's important that you get it out there. So please do submit it for publication. And if you do find a forever home, let us know. We love to celebrate with you.
Yeah, more so than regular flash fiction, this is particularly subjective.
Absolutely.
As well, so.
Yeah. I think a big question on the lips of entrants, so to speak. Hang on. Why do you always have to take it to a hand gesture place? I'm giving it $2 because that's a lot. 1, 2.
One for each lip.
Oh, shit. Okay. But another big question on the lips of our entrants is, are we going to do this again?
I guess the answer at this stage is I don't know. It's been a ton of work for us. There's a lot of reading, it's a lot of recording, it's all of the things that go with it. And, the free comp and prizes are not the thing that would stop us. It's all of that other work.
Yeah,
right. So
absolutely.
So I would love to do it again, but if we do it again, it probably will be a paid comp, and we would need to think about the parameters and when we're going to fit that in and all that kind of thing. So it's not happening this year, let's say, at least that much.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about. But listen, we had the best time and I'm not ready to let it go. So we do still have our Bear Devils, which I'm looking forward to. But in the meantime, I do hope that the Flesh Fiction collection, the 3-volume collection, fills that gap for people.
And that gap deserves to be filled.
It does, It's aching to be filled.
Wants it bad. And we may end up reading some stories as well on our Patreon feed down the track. Who knows? We might just get bored and want to trip down Flesh Fiction lane and just want to read some really dirty shit.
I'm always ready to go down Flesh Fiction lane.
You've got one of those cards that they stamp with like 10 visits.
I get a free coffee on the 10th one.
A free flesh at the end of it. A random flesh from the bag.
Oh.
Who knows? What will it be?
Anyway. On that note.
So that about wraps it up for Flesh Fiction 2025. We hope that it was as good for you as it was for us. But that's not the end of Not Quite Right, of course. We will be back with plenty more content. We have the Not Quite Right prize for Flash Fiction and all of the episodes that go along with that. We do have a long list and a short list episode for that competition, very similar to this one. We read out all of those stories. And we also have a regular podcast that we do sometimes
inverted
these days,
commas.
and we're looking forward to releasing another episode of that at some point soon, and that will be featuring the writing of Edgar Allan Poe. So stick around for all of that.
You perverts.
But until then, ride on.
Yeehaw.
Thank you for listening to Not Quite Right. If you'd like to reach us via email or follow us on social media, you can find all the links on our website, notquiterightpodcast.com. That's WRITE. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcasting app.
Something doesn't seem quite right.
Okay, let's fuck this puppy.
I want to intro with a little bit of a skit.
Okay,
Just a little bit of a
I don't know my lines.
Okay, maybe we'll ad lib, and then if it sounds all right, we'll keep it in, and if not, we'll do it again. All right, you ready?
Yep, you can assume when I say let's fuck this puppy that I'm ready.
Hi,
Hello,
I'm Ed,
I'm Amanda.
and it's time for the category winners of the Not Quite Right prize for Flesh Fiction.
Ooh.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You got your... I don't want to go too sexy. It's okay,
Well, it's like it's too late. Listen, I'm dissociating.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this is entertainment.
No, I'm trying to work out where this line is between being extremely pervy and just like being entertaining. So
But
I'm not
pervier
going to
is-
be like,
pervier is
have
funny.
you lubed up? I don't want to say
Yeah,
that.
no, that's a bit-
too far.
that's a bit
But, like,
direct.
is there something I can pull back on? And and I hope you're sufficiently prepared for what's to come, because it's going to be highly sexual.
Thank you for the content warning. Oh my God. That was the least sexy way you could have said that in the whole world. I've never been so turned off in my life.
Because we'll be announcing all
Say
of...
it sexier.
Okay. If I could say it sexually. In a sexual manner.
Intercorsually. Oh, fuck.
Because in this episode, we'll be revealing the winners of each category, as well as the overall winner of the Not Quite Right prize for Flesh Fiction.
Ooh. I'm just here to make noises. I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm just fucking talking.
This is going to take all night. I'm glad we started here. The night is young. The moon is full. Of cum.
Inside you, there are 2 werewolves.
And they're boning. Ow! And they're playing ice hockey. They're playing tonsil hockey. My favorite kind of hockey. I've got to be careful. Fuck knows what you're going to use of what I'm saying. Anyway. B5 fum. And I won't finish that because I did have a rhyme.
No,
to go.
just say it.
Well, the rhyme was cum, so you just
Oh, come. Okay, because you could have gone bum. You could have gone
B5 fum. I smell the cum.
bum.
I smell the cum of a pre-filled bum.
Pre-filled?
I'm trying to syllables.
I like my bums pre-filled. You know what I mean? No, I don't. don't really. You'll have to explain that one to me because I've heard a lot of things, but not that one. That's new. Proper horny. Up and down, happy days. Fuck, that's good. Shit, that's so fucking good.
Giggle break. Sorry, I'm just going to bite the microphone while I wait.
Oh.
Just a little nibble.
Give it a nibble.
Just a cheeky nibble. Nibble, nibble, little rat. Who is nibbling on my twat? Send us your dirtiest poems. If you make us piss ourselves literally, we will give you $1,000. Just at any time. Open call out anytime. Don't waste our time. Only if I'm going to piss myself.
Do you reckon when that guy's
you
having sex
say-
is like, how to pronounce this dick?
I have thought about it extensively, and you can put it in the dossier.
In the dossier.
Yeah, not really, but you know.
No, but I think what's happened is that it's triggered that part of your brain, but you haven't actually consciously explored it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's in there anyway.
It's in there deep, is what you're
It's
saying.
not in there deep, is what I'm saying. It's in there shallow.
Okay, all right. Give it to me shallow.
The hottest sentence in the English language.
I want you to put it in, but not very far.
I want you to just take it out immediately. Like before it's even in. Fuck's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already struggling, so just fucking read the story.
I told her.
What?
Sorry, I read out of the corner of my eye harmonious, but I read it as humongous.
She came. She was like, "What's your name?"
And the
I'm
story
like, "Fucking
went in a different
humongous."
direction in my head. That was gay as fuck, man. That was so gay.
It was
fucking gay, man.
Get it out. Go.
So
Get it out. Are you okay?
Go for some hockey for some reason. It's really
Same.
weird. All right, shall we?
At this point, you just say hockey to me. I'm like, let's fuck. I've literally watched 1.5 episodes. I need to catch
that's
up.
all you-
I'm
that's
obsessed
all you
with it,
needed.
and I haven't even watched it.
You can't even make it through a whole episode
I know. It just
because
because of reasons. I do know. I got my friend Tara into it, and she's like texting me.
she's with one hand.
And I'm like, I don't fucking care. Good for her. Watching that show kind of turns me into a gay man. Have you ever been a lesbian? Have you ever been turned into a lesbian?
I'm actually not into like lesbian stuff.
Okay.
Like I know it's very popular.
I'm not into gay
but I'm
stuff
just not.
either. Like, obviously.
I feel like I don't belong there. You know what I mean?
It's like then
it's
you're
for
not
me.
invited.
Yeah.
I'm not invited into this. It is a funny cultural phenomenon because why are all the middle-aged women finding it hot? It's very romantic. I think that's a big part of it.
Because gay men are more attractive than straight men, generally speaking. Like they're neater and more.
No,
you know.
it's not about the men. I think it's about the story. You know, people have been talking about it's yearning. And that's it. It's like really, it's the story. It's very fucking romantic. It's very good. Oh, fuck, I have to be an old lady in this one. I'm not putting on a voice. I don't think I
You
can.
know how I feel about old ladies.
I've got osteoporosis. Sweetie, if you go too hard, I might burn.
You're going to have to give it to me shallow.
God, you couldn't have done that at a worse time.
It would have meant a lot to me if you just sprayed that all over the floor.
All right. Fucking hell, man. You're right. The old lady shit really gets you.
I don't know. Maybe it's morphed from like joke to, you know what I mean?
I do.
Okay.
Not funny anymore.
No, well, no, it's still funny.
You're going to start making calls
I'm going to start
to
visiting-
vulnerable old ladies.
visiting nursing homes.
They're horny in nursing homes. That's the thing. Haven't you heard that?
I have heard
There's
that.
like rampant STDs and shit because they're like, whatever, fucking
Yeah.
get me. I've already got.
Yeah, I've already.
It's like I'm Mr.
Add to the
Burns.
list.
I'm Mr. Burns. All the
Exactly.
illnesses are like.
I was going to say, why did we shut the window? Then I remembered about the birds.
Yeah, but I'm fucking...
Cheep, cheep.
I'm really moist.
Sparks flicker up my spine. My cock throbs painfully between my legs and...
Thighs.
Thanks for telling me where my cock is.
Oh, it's your cock. I thought this was fiction.
I'm getting into character. It's going to be so much fun. Packing those dildos and just cupping them gently.
Just really delivering. The only thing
I have
is...
to buy some new boxes from the post office because they're not going to fit in the book box. Too big. Too girthy. Okay.
Well, you can fold them up. They allow for
the
girth
box. Okay.
if you...
Yeah. You just have to make them fit. You just have to stretch the box. Not only just the number of entries, but we increase the size of the submission box.
I'm just like...
Oh, we increased. We made it so big. And let me say that again. We increased the length of the submissions as well, so to 1,500 words.
And why not?
And why not increase it all the way? Barely fits the submission box.
My root needs its beautiful hole. Come here then, she rasps. Let me be your pot. Stop fucking breathing.
Sorry, I'm like, you go on.
I mean, I take it as like positive reinforcement,
Okay.
But still.
This is an interesting career that we've chosen.
What have we done? Go on. You're so,
Yeah.
etc.